Okay. I was going to tonight. I'm going to do this by myself and introduce some words in Ojibwe that places of names and how they are, what they mean in Ojibwe. And then we're going to do some nouns and verbs. Does anybody have any questions first? Any comments?
Can you sing your song again tonight?
Who's that?
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. You're my #1 fan.
That's great.
Let me see here. Okay. Okay, I'll sing it again if you guys if you guys want.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. And it's Isihjihgaywin is a day of giving, and I think I said this last time. I made up a song just for Christmas, and I had my students sing it up on stage for the community, and everybody liked it. So Isihjihgaywin is a day of giving. That's what that song is about, and it's Isihjihgaywin, day of giving, and Migiweta means Migiweta, let us give, and then Saabe is love. So on a day of giving, let us give love. That's what that means. And and this is the only song that I know. I guess I could make up some more. Okay, so if you guys want to sing along with me, that'd be great. Okay, here we go. Isihjihgaywin, 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 Migiweta, 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 Isihjihgaywin, 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 Migiweta, Migiweta, Isihjihgaywin, 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 Migiweta, Isihjihgaywin, Isihjihgaywin, Isihjihgaywin. Oh, we got you. That's one of the reasons I never became a singer. But I'm glad that you guys like the song. And then I was going to say, if anyone wants to ask? Anyone wants to ask me something? Okay. Let's see. Okay. In the Ojibwe language, there is a lot of songs that what they call sacred songs that are done in ceremonies, and basically what they're doing is they're singing to their spirits, their helpers, or so it's a form of communicating. And also the songs and powwows that you hear, you don't hear too much of the songs in the language. It's mostly vocables, and they're the songs that they do sing are for just for ceremonial stuff. So that's why you don't really hear them singing at powwows. But these songs, the powwow songs, they've been here for generations and generations. Well, since the beginning of time, anyway. And just to let you know, we have the Anishinnaabe creation story. The Anishinnaabe creation story begins with Kaawingaygoon. And Kaawingaygoon means that there was nothing here. Okay? So Kaawin and Gaygoon is there was nothing here. And then in the story that says, basically, matwe igan ginon do oyo ginon dan. They say that. And it means somebody had to hear that. The matwe ganan says there was drumming after this, when there was silence with Kaawingaygoon. And then if you take reading books on history and math, they said that it was the Persians that came up with the number 0. But if you take if you do take a look at the beginning of the creation story of the Ojibways, okay, we have that concept of the number 0. And so it's Kaawingaygoon. So there is that indication in the Ojibwe language that we have a number system that goes way, way, way back in the beginning of time. And so we do have a little bit of that history that a lot of people don't really know and don't really realize. So, and my sister's not here with me tonight, Ruth. I don't know if she survived Milton. I haven't heard from her. I don't know. I don't think she's on tonight. But she said that they were going to hunker down, and they were on the east side of Florida. So I think they're fine. Okay, somebody has a question here. Oh, Kishmigrets for giving us air. Air is pagita, how do I say it now? Anishinnaabe, kaya bachto yang chibmatiz I'm not sure about air. I want to say pagitamigan, but I'm not sure about that. That's one of those things that when I was growing up, our parents wouldn't say the prayers and the ceremonies towards us. The air, I know that is pagitinamigan. Pagitinamigan is when you let go of the air. Okay, pagitinamigan. So that I think that would be the closest. Pagite. I'll write it down for you. Okay, pa, get, te, na. Get, just wait. Okay, forget the naam. Forget the naam. Forget the naam gun is the stuff you bring in, and then you forget the naam is you give out. So that would be air. Forget the naam gun. So that is one of the prayers that are coming out now is thanking Keesh for the land, the water, and the air. So that you could use Pagitinamiga. And there is a lot of people now with Anishinnaabe terms that are coming up that we don't really haven't really give it much thought, I guess. But there are words for that, and you must remember that there are different Anishinaabe tribes and groups that would say a little bit differently or use different words. But I would use that word. Pagitinamigan. There.
Eli, could you put that in the chat?
Oh yeah. Oh, I wrote it down, but I forgot to mail it. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pagitinamigan. Yeah. Yeah, these there are terms that Anishinaabe terms that are used in ceremonies that are not really everyday terms. And some of these words that we, even us speakers, have forgotten. And one time I asked Ruth, how do you say stump in Ojibwe, because I had forgotten. And I stumped her with that one. It took her a while. Anyway, she came back to me after a while for stump. It's Kihkayndahsohwin. And Kihkayndahsohwin is ki. Let me see here. Keesh. See the word Keesh, and then Kihkayndahsohwin. Gun. Keesh, just wait. I'm writing it down for you guys. Kihkayndahsohwin. Let me see. Yeah, it's Isihjihgaywin. That's stump. And Kihkayndahsohwin is it means that the thing that's left over after you cut down a tree, a mittig. And we were actually talking about the environment just before we got on. A mittigog, and those are the ones that are in trouble right now from the spraying. Mittig. Yeah. Mittigog. If you just take the word, see the mittig there, that means a tree, one tree. The mittigog is a plural form. Trees. Mittigog. And us Anishinnaabe believe that the mittigog plants, medicines, are living things, and they do have and there's prayers that we give for the use of the mittigog if you have to use them for, let's say, you have to cut down a tree for a paddle, axe handle, or canoe, if you want to make a canoe. There's always a prayer that we say to the trees, asking them for or saying thanks for giving its life to us, and that we will make something just as good, just as perfect, as how the tree was made originally. So that thing that we're going to make will be just as perfect as the tree. And giving thanks for giving its life. So we have that the cultural aspect in the language that a lot of people don't understand or don't really know about that. And tonight I'm going to talk about Ojibwe place names. And one of the things that we have, and you guys will probably hear this when they say Turtle Island, okay? Miskote Minis. I'll write it down here. And it's Miss. Oh. Miskote Minis. Oh yeah, you see the word Miskote se is the turtle, and Minis is the island. So it's Turtle Island. And see the word miskaw in there, M-I-S-K-O, miskaw. That means red. Okay, so we're talking about the red turtle, Miskotesiminus. And there's other words that they use for Turtle Island. What's the other one? Miskotesi. Mashkaki. No. I forget the other one. It'll come to me. So Miskotesiminus, Turtle Island. And there are a lot of people use that for land acknowledgement. Miskotesiminus. The continent itself looks like the back of a turtle. Okay. There are maps about that. Okay. Another one, the area where Ahmad is called Keeshkan. Okay. Keeshkan. ZB. Boom. You have Keeshkan ZB is Antler River. If you take a look at the word Keeshkan, that first word, Keeshkan is a horn. Okay. And that here in this area, it's Thames River. The Thames River, if you, there's a ceremonial, that's a ceremonial name for, in the Ojibwe name for the Thames River. And the Thames River has, in the Anishinnaabe teachings from the people around here, there's a serpent with a horn that lives in the river, in the Antler River, and they have it protects the water of Antler River, and so that's Keeshkan, and then ZB means river. Okay. River ZB. Now the word ZB comes from Isihjihgaywin. I'll write it down here. Okay, for ZB, see the word Isihjihgaywin means I am washing. I am washing because you must remember before European contact and or before we were put in reserves. Oh, there's also a word for reserve. ZB is ZBEG means I am washing. Okay, bodily washing. Your clothes are washed a long time ago along the river, because at that time, remember, rivers were clean at that time. So every morning, all the Anishinnaabe would go into the river and wash. So that's where ZB comes from. ZBEG, I am washing. So that's where that the word ZB comes from. Oh, let me see. Webenegan. Oops. Webenegan. Okay, Webenegan means what is thrown away, and or shkunjigan is or what is left over. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah. Webenegan or shkunjigan. They mean what is thrown away. See, Webenegan is thrown away. And ishkunjigan is leftovers, or what is left over. So these are the two words that you hear Anishinnaabe describe the reservations. Yeah, Kareem, the words are very descriptive, okay? And this is one of the reasons why I am doing this, is that if you take a native language course right now, and you pay, your tuition and all that stuff, and then the teacher goes up there and says, Deshkan ZB Antler River. And then that's it. And that's what you have to know and remember for your test and your exam. But what they don't describe is the description of the meaning of these words. So that's why I'm doing this. So in the word Webenegan, that could also describe a long time ago when, let's say, a man is booted out of the marriage, has a divorce. Okay, from then on, he has that stigma of Webenegan. Okay, here, I'll write it down here. Yeah, so it's Webenegan, thrown away. So a person that was divorced would walk by and somebody would, say Webenegan, that he was thrown away. So that is where, okay, Webenegan, thrown away. So that's where the reserves are. comes from where we can throw away. So webinar, let me see. I'll do another one here. This one here is webinar. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Webenaganewe. The act of being thrown out. So so Anishinnaabe a long time ago they had these social forms, social terms. So you have the stigma after you got thrown out. So that is where the reservations also came from a long time ago when the reserves were being formed. Of course, the Anishinnaabe knew that we were getting the worst part of the land where you didn't have can't grow things, and there was no form of an economy in these reservations. So, and this happened in the late 1800s. So that's where that thing comes from. Okay. Another term is another place name. Right on Chippewa-Thames First Nations, there's a little community that is part of the Moravians, the Muncies, and they're the Delaware First Nations. And if you know a little bit of history of the Muncies, they were driven out of Long Island, New York area. And so they were driven out and by the settlers, and they were taken in by the Moravians, which was a religious German religious group. And then they were moved from town to town all over Pennsylvania and Ohio and places like that. And they have, and the Muncies have all these places that they had settled. This one group came up along Kihkayndahsohwin in the Moravian town. There were a bunch of them settled there. And then a group of them, the Muncies, came up and lived in Muncie, where Muncie is right now, just outside of Chippewa-Thames. And I had came up with Muncie comes from and in a sense means little island. Okay. here's Muncie, the name they have right now. And then Minnesans means little island. Okay, so at that time, when they were living at Long Island, that's where the Delaware came from, the Muncies. And for us Ojibways, we call them the grandfather tribe because they came up and settled there way a long time ago. Way stretch word for a long time ago, and they settled there, and then from there, all the tribes originated from the Muncies, and there was the Ojibways, and then the Wampanoag First Nations, and then all those tribes along the East Coast, and who else? The Ojibways, the Cree, and Mushkegowuk, that's the Cree. The Seminoles are part of that, Cherokee, and all these. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Narragansett, yeah, and the Wabanam. And remember, this is centuries ago, even at the time of the dinosaurs, that the Muncies came off from the west coast somewhere, because they found these arrowheads in some of the caves by California, along that coast. They found these arrowheads, and then they were traced back to the Muncies. And there is oral stories about this, about that. So that's why we refer to them as the grandfather tribe. And it's all those tribes, the Algonquin tribes along the eastern seaboard that were there. But then you must remember that the Iroquois are completely different. Okay, it's like English versus the Japanese culture, completely different. The language is different, and everything else. But well, anyway, the Muncies, they were down. They settled close up the river at Deshkanzibini. Okay. And the reason why I figured this out all by myself. Okay, just wait. Hey, something happened. Okay. Okay, where was I?
You were discussing Muncies.
Oh yeah. My Zoom went out on me.
Oh, we could still see you here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Muncie. See the word Muncie? okay, and then C. So that means in that as Muncie as Assini as, so it has something to do with that rocks. Okay, now somebody told me that in Muncie, the original part, Muncie, New York, there were all these little rocks there. Okay. So Muncie, that ans part means menis, like something small, like a small island. So that's where Muncie comes from. It has something to do with Assini with that. So I brought those two together, and they have that Ojibwe language part in there, because they're the language itself is a little bit different than ours, because they use the L word there. Okay. Most interesting, another interesting part about that was the Muncies and Long Island had another group with them called the Anami. Anami is the same, they're the same tribe, but they have a different name. And Anami, I'll write it down. And okay. Okay. You see the word anami there? It means just below. Okay, anaming. It comes from the word anaming. Okay, yeah. I'll write down anaming. Anaming. Okay. Anami comes from the word anaming, and in Ojibwe, anaming means below. Okay, anaming. Now, what I gathered was that Muncie in New York was above, and then the Anamis lived below them. Okay, so just below the Muncies. So that's why they're called Anamig, Anami. So, and the reason I figured this out was in Moravian Town is below Muncie, along the Thames River. So the Anamigs live below the river of Muncie. So, and when I was working as working down here as an educator, I would go to Muncie, and I would see that word anami and think, why are they using that here? So that's why they're using that, is because originally that was the original place for them also, and they also came up with the Muncies because of the settlers. Okay. So, just give you an example of some of the Anishinnaabe that used to live down New York way. The Muncies, the original Anishinnaabe for grandparents. Okay. Another thing is that Walpole Island, fantastic history of Walpole. The Anishinnaabe that live Lake St. Clair, and the island. Walpole is right on the island there, and they also have their Anishinnaabe name, Pakwewaning, Pakwenong, they call it Pakwenong. Pakwe is broken apart, so the river comes down and it's broken up by the waterways, and so that's why they call it Pakwe, Pakwewaning, Pakwe Nishawan, Pakweshka, I would say. So they have that word Pakwe in there, Pakwewaning. And that's where the water is divided by this island. Now, I'll write this down for, I'll write down, I'm sorry. Comes from Pakwe Che. Now, see, I wrote down the way they spell it, okay? Then I wrote down the way I spell it. See, it's Pakwechiwanong. Pakwechiwanong, that's Walpole Island. Comes from Pakwechiwan. Pakwechiwan is means that it's divided, or it's the river is broken up by that. Okay, and it comes from Pakwejigan, actually. Pakwejigan is breaking bread. Here, I'll write down Pakwejigan. Yeah. Pakwejigan. Okay. The way I spell it is Pakwejigan, that means breaking bread, and Pakwe is the act of something when you break it. And because of the writing system that they use down here, sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing the word, like where is this? And I know that pake, see the word the pake here? That is pake je. Kejuanon. Kejuanon. Pakwejigun, okay, or Pakwejigi. Pakwejiwan. 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 Where the water divides, basically what that means. Okay. Yeah, so it's Pakwechiwan is the river, is states the movement of the water being split. So that's where that comes from. Okay. Another name place that's really interesting, I found this out, is by breaking down the syllables of this name place. Mississauga of New Credit. It's an Anishinnaabe community close to Brantford, Ontario. And the word Mississauga comes from the word misha, okay? And misha, meaning it is big, and the missus indicates big, okay? Misha, zaga. And the syllable saga, see the word saga? That means the root word saga is he or she is leaving or going outside. So Mississauga, Mishazaga, means something big is going out, and that is the Grand River draining into Lake Ontario by Brantford and New Credit, Mississauga, Mishazaga. So that is the word for, write it down for you guys. And this is the same thing as Mrs. Okay. Okay. Mississauga, something big going up. So and then the word saga means going out, and Mississauga means something that is big. And it's the same thing as Mississippi. The word Mississippi, see Missis and CP, the Mississippi, and Sippy means river. So Missis means big river. And every time I mention big river, it reminds me of the Johnny Cash song. Hey, hey, big river. I always have to sing that with Mississippi. Now, so that is about Mississauga, Mishazaga. That's what that would be the actual translation of that. Okay. Oh, okay. How would you say plants? Oh, okay, plants. Kihkayndahsohwin. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard that. Kitigas patakchigan. What? Patah. Get patakchi. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. See the word patakichi igan, patakichi igan. That is plant. None makes it plural, so it's patakichi ganan plants, and patakichi ganan is patakichi means things that are planted right into the ground. That's the literal translation for patakchiganan. And Garden River is, I'll just write this down here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And for Garden Rivers, Kitigan means garden. Okay. Where all the plants are. And the ZB is river. So that would be Kitigan ZB. And yeah, they have a long time ago that was a lot of Anishinnaabe there do a lot of gardening. That's it was all over. We were farmers, we were hunters, gatherers, and we were also farmers. So that would be why it was called Kitigan Zibi, because that was where. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Pishkanagami, Pishkan. Okay. 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 Pishka Nagami. Okay, the word Pishka, see the syllable Pishka means river turns or has a curve to it, Pishka. So it's a lot of turns. There probably are a lot of turns along the river. And Nagami is a portage. And that's probably why there's a lot of portages there, because it's all over the place. Where is this place?
It's about 10 minutes from Foleyet, the lake, but then the river's just down the street from my house.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is it curvy or?
Oh yeah, the river, it circles around the whole town. It almost like technically makes the town an island, even though
Oh,
it's considered an island, but the
oh,
river
yeah.
goes around the whole land base that the town's located on.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, so does that help? Shka.
Yeah, that's really cool. And there's a giant lake that was called that as well, um an old map that was found.
Uh-huh.
So but it's the river is the same name in English. They're both called Ivanhoe.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And my glitch.
Yeah, it's good to find out all these Anishinnaabe names from places, and there's a history behind them with the name of the words. Okay. How do you say swamp or marsh? Okay, just wait, Kurt. Okay. Okay, Mushkego is swamp, and Mushkegog is people of the swamp, which are the Cree. That's what we call them, and they call themselves that too, Mushkegog. And yeah, and that's where Muskoka comes from, swamps. Mushkego. Yeah, because there's lots of swamps there. Oh, how do you say my dog? Okay. 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 For my dog, you say Nitesh. Okay. Nitesh. Ne, and then Desh would be my dog. Okay. Don't call that to your husband. Nitesh. You can say that. Nitesh, yeah. And then for his dog, her dog, Kittish, that would be the K for second person, Kittish. And third person would be Oteshan. Oteshan, you have that, use that shun at the end. So that would be my dog, Nitesh. Okay. Amigos, Leanne. Anything else anybody wants? Yeah, that's right, Kurt, in Michigan. Mushkegoo, Mushkegoo, Mushkegoo. Yeah, that would be described as the swamp thing. And that was interesting. I was going to talk about Lake Michigan. In Michigan, see the word Misha there? Misha. That means big. Gun is Lake Michigan would be a big lake that would be called Lake Michigan. Okay, for that, Misha comes from the word Misha, means big. Miche. And I remember like Lake Michigan is large and long, and so all these Ojibways, after paddling it for a full day, they say, "Oh, Michigan." So that's where Michigan comes from, big and long lake. So, and you must remember that the Anishinnaabe, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Dakota, Minnesota, and what else is there? Illinois. There's a whole bunch of Anishinnaabe over there, and we basically say the same thing. So that was where that's some of the words that we would have from there, like in Wisconsin, you have Kenosha, and I think it's in Wisconsin, and Kenosha means a pike, and Kino, it comes from that word Kino. See, Kino, Kenosha means it's a big long fish, Kenosha. And you have a city there that is called Pike City. And then another thing, remember I was telling you about the Muncies? There's Wayne's World. There is Alice Cooper explains the meaning of Milwaukee. And he says that Milwaukee means beautiful earth, okay? But because the Muncies use the L, Milawa, see, to them, in the Munsee language, Milawa means beautiful. And Aki is earth, beautiful earth, Milwaukee. So that's where that word Milwaukee comes from the Delaware Anishinnaabe. And so that, and there are other cities that in the States that have that. Let me see. I'll give you a name, Chicago, okay? Chicago has the word shigag in there, okay? Chicago. And shigag means skunk, okay? And Chicago would be a place where a long time ago, when the Anishinnaabe would paddle by that place a long time ago, they would say, "Oh, Chicago," they would say. It means skunk, because a long time ago in that area, there was a lot of skunk cabbage growing there. So the Anishinnaabe called that Chicago. And that's where Chicago comes from. So that is another a language and history lesson for you guys. Is there anything else that is interesting? And any other things that you want to know, let us know, and then I will translate it for you guys. And I'm happy to do that. Okay, Leanne. How would you say "go away, bear"? Okay. It's a Anishinnaabaymohwin. Go away, bear. Anishinnaabaymohwin. But first you should say bonjour, makwa, michi. It's a hi, bear, my friend, and they will understand you. Because there's lots of stories I've heard where people talk to the bears in Ojibwe, and the bears do listen, and they'll come towards you, or they'll stand up and their ears will twitch. And there was one time, a long time ago, there was I was in what do you call those things, aquarium, and there's these old turtles there, and they weren't doing anything. They were just lying in the sun. So I came up to them and I said, bonjour, Scott Dacings. And they both looked up right away when I when I said that. And I've heard another person tell stories of where bears are in cages, and they would go up there and they would say bonjour, makwa, and they would react to that. And so and there are stories of my dad and mom and uncle saying something to a bear, and the bear reacted and came towards them, actually. So there is that Anishinnaabe relationship with animals and even plants, and it's just not us Ojibwes. It's also with the Iroquois. I was talking to a woman down here in Oneida, and she practiced the old medicine, and she did all these ceremonies. And she said that these spirits of trees came to her one time, and so we do have that ancestral relationship with the animals. And a long time ago, even our dogs used to understand this in Ojibwe. That was okay. Kurt asked, what about the little people? I had an encounter out in the bush and just wanted to be respectful towards them in case they wanted to interact again. We found this to be true. Okay. Sometimes they're called Anishinnaabe, little people of the rocks. And some of them are called Kaawingaygoon. I'll write this down too. Another term that they use is Kaawingaygoon, little people of the butterflies. And they're all over the place. And as a kid, I saw one. And I've talked to a lot of people down here in Walpole and my students when I was teaching at Chippewa of the Thames. And people in the Oneida village, they talk about them, and they see them, and they put out gifts for them, tobacco. And what we know about them is that they have trails all over the place, and that they travel on. And yeah, they do ceremonies, all that kind of stuff. And they say you leave gifts with them, and they'll play tricks on you. But you people have told me, ceremonial people have told me that you can talk to them in Ojibwe. And my belief system is that these are the ones that still have the language, so that you know, the language will always be there. And I've talked to a medicine person, and they talk to them also. And ceremonial people, they know about them, and they use them as guides and for helping knowledge. And and this is where all our Anishinnaabe knowledge comes from, is through them. And these guys are all over the world, actually. In Ireland, the leprechauns, they have it's the same thing. And they have Norway and the Scandinavian countries. They have them. They have laws in, I think, in Norway or something, Sweden, somewhere, Switzerland, where construction companies are not allowed to build on certain areas. So it's just not the Anishinnaabe that believe in that kind of stuff. So they're out there. Let me see here. Just wait. I'm trying to catch something that I missed. Okay, they appeared for me near a massive tree that was bent like an arc. I only spotted them afterwards when taking a photo. Tanong. Yeah, where the water curves around. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, somebody said something too. I can't retrieve it. Yeah, Jamie Lee, do you know what the other people wanted?
Before you were
Before Kurt, yeah.
Karen said we found this to be true, referencing speaking native to wild animals.
Yeah. Yeah, that that is something. Yeah, and the Cherokee also speaks of them. That's interesting. See the word Cherokee. See, it has that word Aki in there for earth. Aki, Cherokee. And if it has an R in it, it has something to do with the Muncies. I think it has, yeah, they also have R's. So yeah, if you talk to all First Nations people of the land, they talk about all the Anishinnaabe and Kaawingaygoon. So that is there's a lot of stories about that around Walpole. I was talking to one of the elders, and she was telling me that, yeah, when she was a kid, she played outside for a long time, and the parents, when she came back, says, "What were you doing?" He says, "You're up for too long." He says, "Oh," he says, "I was playing with my little friends." And the dad says, "What? You don't have any friends." But that's so she moved away with the parents, going away somewhere, and then she came back as an adult and was living in that same area. And then as an adult, then they came back to her. They came to visit her. So there are a lot of stories about that. And so, but then there's also stories of Saabe. Saabe is Bigfoot. And I was teaching with an Anishinnaabe person from not Walpole, Manton Island. She said they saw one crossing a road. And one of my cousins said she saw one. Just right at the time when they found the minerals for the Ring of Fire in Treaty 9. And they said that Saabe, when they see Saabe, it's a warning that something bad is going to happen. My brother witnessed my dad talking to a bear and shared a chocolate bar. Yeah, there are a lot of stories with animals. With Anishinnaabe. I had a student at one time at Western University. He came and took my course, and he said that his grandfather had a trap line just around Timmins area, and I forget his name. And he said that his grandfather would have a trap line, and then there would be wolves around there, and he would feed them. He would leave animal carcasses for them and stuff like that, especially during the winter. And the grandfather says one time he was in the springtime, snow was melting, and he was working in the backyard, and then a wolf appeared and came up to the steps and laid a rabbit on the porch for him. And so that was so the grandfather and the wolves developed this relationship. And then that one spring, the wolf came back and sat in the backyard, and then all these little cubs came running out of the bush. So the wolf brought his family. to say hello to the grandfather. So, and yeah, there's all these stories that are out there about relationship with animals. So there's that, and yeah, always remember to. For me, every time when I'm in the bush, I say a little prayer. I say something in Ojibwe, and I just miigwech, and to the animals, plants, trees, loons, or whatever. We went to this. We're in this lake for my wife and I and the kids. The kids grew up. We took them. We took them to this lake every summer, and there are loons all around. And so that was very interesting. And then and then we had to we sold a camp last summer actually, and my wife and I were the last ones to leave the camp in the fall. It was sometime in September, and we left. And just as we were leaving, we were going towards the marina in the boat. And all of a sudden, right beside the boat, these two huge loons came up from under the water there. Yeah, to say goodbye, I guess. That was pretty neat. Yeah, and we call a Wiyashi show. Okay, I'll write it down for you guys. Wiyashi show. Yeah, Wiyashi show. Animals. Yeah. So hope you guys say a little prayer to everybody, animals and plants and all that. Okay, I guess that's it for now. I love doing this for you guys. That means I'm happy for doing this. And just to remind everybody, let me see. I'll be gone for the month of November. So I'll be back sometime in the end of November. So we can, just to let you guys know, and we'll take it up again in December. For later on. Yeah, Jamie, I forgot to tell you that, just to remind you.
Yeah, I'll update on social media and everything like that.
Yeah, okay, we could do that on the last day.
Sounds good.
About that. Oh, have a good night, Leanne, Kurt. Minapigo amin, amigos, Kurt. Yeah, I like the interest that you guys are having, and if you want to have any more, I like talking about Anishinnaabe culture and history, so I'll be doing some of that also later on. Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's good. There's no more questions. Miigwech Eli, Gigawabbaman.
Minapigo amin, miigwech kakina.